Hey everyone, in today's video, it's a little bit late, but this just came in the mail today, and I'm a little nervous to open it. I can't wait much longer. What's inside of here is the most disgusting Pioneer SX37 I have ever seen on eBay. I saw it and I knew I had to have it. So, let's see what the seller's got in store for us. This looks to be exactly what I just bought. I gotta get my light from inside. It's getting too dark, but I gotta show you properly the condition this thing's faceplate is in. I mean, just look at that. And I actually think the seller tried cleaning it just based on how things look. Like the case of the receiver, which I'll get to in a minute, that actually looked really clean. I'm curious to find out what this stuff is. Two of the knobs are missing. They're not too hard to come about, so I'm not terribly worried. Like I said, top is in pretty good condition. Looks like we've got a burn mark from something, maybe someone's favorite tobacco product, I don't know, or non-tobacco. And inside, it's looking horrid, absolutely horrid. That's the next thing I'm really excited to do, is take the cover off of this thing and see just how bad it really is. So this receiver was advertised as not working, lit up, but no sound through the headphone jack. So apparently the seller did not hook up speakers. We have really no idea what we're in for here. There's a really good chance that one of you watching I sniped this from. At the very last second on eBay, I put in my max bid and I got it in the last 5 seconds of the auction. So that person knows how much I paid, but I'll tell you all at the end. You're not gonna believe how much I paid for this. At least I can't believe how much I paid for it. I feel like being a good boy today, so let's use the dim bulb tester for this receiver. And let's see what happens when we power it up on the dim bulb. That to me looks normal. There is a relay click. There's a good chance that this thing might actually work. Let's go take this off the dim bulb. We're gonna plug this into the wall. So real quick, here we are, no dim bulb. The lights are a little more dim than I would expect to see, but that very well may be because, you know, look at how dirty this thing is. It probably needs to be cleaned on the inside. I'm sure the back of these meters is just caked in whatever the heck any of this other stuff is. Let's go ahead and switch this to FM. Oh, cool, we have all 5 indicator lamps working, and with just a little wire attached. Look at this, we got activity out of the meters, and I can even get a stereo light if I try real hard. Yeah, right there. The only lamp I noticed to be not working is the dial pointer lamp, which is one of my favorite things to change, as some longtime viewers know. All these pots and switches actually feel okay, so it's not like this thing was abused per se. It was just in a really bad environment. So with our A speakers turned on, the first thing we're going to check for is any DC at the speaker terminals. We've got 11 right there, which is pretty good on the right, and then on the left we have 7, also really good. So now since we're switched to FM, let's switch this to AC, and we're going to hold these against the right channel. I'm going to turn up the volume. Well, there's like a little bit of something there, but there should be a lot more than that. Left channel, similar situation, no sound. So the tuner might be in trouble, but we can definitely plug into aux here and we can listen to everybody's favorite song, or at least try to. We've got it on FM, let's go over to aux. If this thing is working, I should get some level of AC signal when I turn the volume up. So right here, we're getting sound out of our left channel, but the right channel, we got nothing on the right channel. But I think I'm comfortable taking a speaker and hooking it up. One crazy thing I'm noticing here is, like, look at the different colors you can see in this red speaker connector. Like, it's a brighter red there, and then it's black up there. Man, where was this thing? Alright, so we've got the speakers hooked up. Walk through the park is coming through. If I turn up the volume, I can barely hear it out of the left. Lots of noise out of there. If I jiggle the switch, no. Tape monitor. Oh, there it is. Dirty tape monitor switch. So we got it out of the right. Oh, looks like I hooked up my speakers backwards. We have it out of the left. But out of the right, I barely hear it. You can hear the radio and this. Alright, so which switch is bad? On the right. Oh, it's the selector switch. Listen. There. I can get it to come out of the right. Let's exercise that. There we go. And bring back the left. There it is. Both channels. Holy moly. It works. Electrically, we're not in too bad a shape. We're just dirty. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Let's see if we can create a further justification. Let's take this cover off. I'm really excited. Oh! Oh! Holy crap! Oh my god! This is insane! Look. Look. It's black. It's black. It's soot or what is it? What is going on in here? This is just a paper towel with my spit on it. That's not coming off. Like in this edit, I'm gonna have to cut to footage of what it's supposed to look like on another SX737 I worked on. Like this is insane. I have never seen something this dirty. And I don't even know what this is. It's not coming off. And here's something I just noticed. Like, this thing... Alright, so look at that. That right there is where this tuner wire was sitting until I moved it just now. We've got the original NEC output transistors. I don't think anybody's ever worked on this. Then right in here, this might be corrosion. Let's see. Yeah, that's rust. I'm overwhelmed. When something like this shows up on this bench, on this YouTube channel, there's only one thing that I absolutely know must happen. So let's not wait any longer. Coldest, rainiest day so far to do this. Oh, it's gonna be a good day. Start here with the high pressure rinse. A little bit. Since this one's really dirty, I think we gotta try out the foaming brush. Alright, so get that in there real nice. Nice and clean. Tell you what, it's looking better already. Probably get the back too. So we noticed those speaker terminals back there were not looking so clean in some spots. And the front, gotta get that too. Try not to break that dial pointer though. Alright, we'll let that soak a minute. Maybe we can give it some soap too. I don't know. Add soap in there. this isn't working as well as I thought. Okay, let's get a fresh, clean start. Let's rinse it off. Then I brought some backup. See, I believe this is a soot problem. So we've got the following here. And you may have noticed that one spot where I kind of spot cleaned it right here. That was with these guys here. So let's try this out. Just kind of get that all on there. Probably should have done this dry, but you know, whatever. And just get it all in there. Okay. And then right here, this is where the magic is gonna happen. Okay. You can see it's bubbling up nice. Just get all that soot right out of there, right? Being too careful. Oh yeah, listen to that. She's gonna be clean in no time. Give her a little more of this. Make it happen. I brought a little toothbrush here. Let's see. That's doing something. Let's get on the boards here. Let's look at the tops of these caps. Oh yeah. Look at that, they're polishing right up. Yeah, see, remember those ceramic emitter resistors? Those are quite brown, and now they're really coming out, looking nice. Let's see if we can erase this here. Yeah, not too bad. Top of the transformer. Top of the relay. Got a warning label. Right here. There's our circuit board coming back. Back here, didn't get enough vinegar back here probably. Haven't done much up here yet. Get our output transistors. One more round of the vinegar. And think about how I can't hold this. Okay, yep. All kinds of good noises. Listen to that. Listen to that. I bought this whole big thing. Might as well use it. Make the most of it. A little more of a toothbrush. Okay, last one, and then we're gonna rinse off. Alright, hopefully I can get this dang thing to turn back on again. Card error. Alright, high pressure rinse. Let's go. I don't want to knock it over. I've done that before. Alright. I think we're good. Let's look at this guy too, right? It's a little dirty. Alright, time to clean up. I get this thing home to dry out. Should have bought a gallon with a handle on it. Not one of these BS handles. Start with a good initial dry. Alright, let's do 170. Preheat it, and we'll see you in, I don't know, 90 minutes. Alright, let's pull this thing out. How are we looking? Smelling just lovely. This thing's big. Honestly, not too bad. Looks a lot better than it did initially. And I even kept this intact. It still works. A little squeaky though. We'll have to fix that. There's still some moisture trapped in the relay here, so I want to make sure that has time to evaporate out if possible. I think I'll do another hour in the oven and then I'll bring it to the shop and we'll see if it works. Alright folks, we are back from the kitchen. We are back from the power washer, the compressed air gun. It's time to see if this thing explodes when we turn it on. Before we do that though, let's take a look closely at this thing. Obviously we are looking a little different than we did before. We can actually make out the color of this power supply board and this tuner board. Everything around here is looking much better. The relay, the condensation cleared up, we're looking pretty good in there. Power amplifier board, not too bad. Looking pretty okay over here. What I expect to happen here is I expect this to turn on, no problem, but I expect the dirty switch issues to remain in their entirety, if not be worse. So without further ado, let's get the camera back on the tripod here and let's see if this thing explodes. Okay, so the receiver's off, provide power to the dim bulb, and this is it. Let's turn it on. Yep, relay. Relay. Okay. No smoke. No bright bulb. All the lamps still work. Everything is pretty much exactly how I thought it would be so far. Let's double check our speaker terminals, make sure nothing bad is happening. I would not expect there to be any significant DC happening back here. And there is not. So, since we have no smoke and no DC at the speakers, I'm going to take it off the dim bulb and we'll go ahead and try and play some music again. So we're on FM.
Can it be the case that you can trust
and,
everyone?
It actually...
And finding that balance.
It actually turns out
offering the best.
We're working better than we were before. And honestly, that is to my surprise. I thought the switches wouldn't be any better. Let's take a look and see how everyone's favorite song sounds through the aux input. So we'll switch over to there and turn it up. Yeah. I mean, you all remember what I had to do just to get sound out of this thing. And now, I just need to, you know, turn up the volume. This is pretty awesome. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. So we've just taken this apparently fire-damaged Pioneer SX737 through the power washer, doused it in baking soda and white vinegar, among other things, and powered it back up after a bake out in the oven, and it's working better than it did before. I cannot believe that, but I think the next thing to do here is make this thing look good. You know, after what this thing's been through, I think it deserves a good faceplate cleaning. Let's see if we can get all this junk off. I'm gonna start here with the basics, just good old hot water and dish soap. So I'd say we're getting somewhere. It's definitely looking better, but it could be better than this. Obviously, that's not perfect. Let's see what this stuff can do for us. Wow, take a look at that. All that stuff is gone. That semi-chrome polish really did a good number on this thing. And I'm pretty happy. The only downside is now we can see all the imperfections. Like, there's some stuff over this way too. I think there's a bunch of stuff by the power switch, yeah. Well, some of that's not gonna come out, but honestly, I didn't think it'd look this good when it's done. This is awesome. I'm gonna have to provide a similar treatment for the knobs and toggle switch covers. You know, I think I'll even take that polishing cloth and I'll go right in here so we get better light diffusion from our fuse lamps. Then we won't have such a dim display. You know what? I think that's going to do something. Can you tell which side has been polished and which side has been not? This is my flashlight on there, just kind of exaggerating things. I think this is going to help quite a bit. Let's finish up that extra side there. Oh my f***ing God. I really can't get through a video without breaking an X3X tuner pointer, can I? I can't believe I just did that. Tell you what, more on that later. I've got a lamp on order and I was going to install that and hopefully not break the pointer, but I already broke the pointer without even trying to install the lamps, so whatever. Let's see if a quick little wipe with IPA brings back these meters. Okay, yep, that's way better. Look what we got from that. I think I'll do the same thing right here. Yep. While we are in this vicinity, let's try to bend this guy back. See if we can hold it steady with the small one. And then come back with the big one. Yeah, that'll probably work. Just a little more on this one. And that looks really good. This is the real troublemaker though. Power switch. Might have to do this in 2 phases. Bring this one out. Alright, I can grab this whole thing now. And we'll bring it back home. Almost there. That's pretty good. Yep, looking straight down. That's pretty straight. Those 2 are straight. And then the one in the middle is the one I bent back. So we're looking pretty good here. Now on these Pioneers it can be a little bit difficult to clean the controls. And that's because you gotta take these boards out and kind of flip them up. So let's flip receiver over. What's gonna happen is these boards are gonna come out like that. You do that by going after these screws right here. Okay, so this one's loose. We can move this one now, pretty easy. And then this one here. Be a little bit tighter to come out, but it will come out eventually. For this, we're going to use these 3 guys. This is the first one we're going to use. This is just a quick dry cleaner that's going to flush out any bad debris. And then these 2 guys are actually going to keep the controls working nicely. We're going to use this D5 on anything that is a switch, like this one. This is a switch. These 3 of these are switches. But then we're going to use this F5 on anything that is a potentiometer, which would be these 2 right here. Your volume pot and the balance pot. Alright, let's throw this whole thing back on the dim bulb and see what happens. Oh, I didn't realize I was turned on. Well, we still have a relay click, and looks like our tuner still works. I mean, listen to that. This is our volume control. There's no static there. We're going to go to the right channel. No static. Left channel, beautiful. Loudness is on. Maybe a little. That's a tape monitor. That's a tape monitor. That's our tape source switch. High filter, low filter, treble, sounds good. Bass, speaker switch, and last but not least, selector switch. You remember how bad that one was before. I had to work pretty hard to get everything to work. This is great. If only we had a lamp to replace this tuner pointer. Alright, it's time for my arch nemesis, the tuner pointer. We don't have to worry about breaking it because I already did. I always break these things because, you know, it's kind of difficult to get them apart. What I like to do is kind of come in with the needle nose and, you know, fail a bunch of times. Okay, so right there you can kind of jam your screwdriver up on the side. So once you get the one side kind of like that, you can come up on top and kind of finish it off. And there's the housing that holds the lamp in there. Guess who it is, folks? It's Sadie! Is it almost dinner time, Sadie? Sadie. Hello. Oh. Yeah, she really doesn't want to be on camera, does she? I'll feed you soon. Nope, not right now. Anyways, you know, those are very important distractions. Then what we do is we lift up that one, and we lift up this one. Get this middle piece free, because we're going to want to reuse that. We'll pull the leads out when we have them cut. And the power leads for this conveniently attach right over here. So what I'll do is get the soldering iron heated up and desolder those. Rather the desoldering tool, the Hakko FR300. Like I said, we'll slide this out. I've got a brand new lamp here. Looks just like the old one. We'll take these leads and measure. Give ourselves like another inch on the new one. Cut and strip. We'll be able to take these ends here and we'll solder them back to where we just took the old ones off. This definitely would be a little easier if I had not stripped them, but we're okay. We'll come back over here and we'll just kind of get this thing back in here and then pinch the corners, squeeze up top. Okay, so that is changed. Then we'll come back this way, put those guys in there, put these guys in here, and then there is no polarity on this. It's just an incandescent bulb. Either wire on either terminal works just fine. So all I've done is I've wrapped my wire around those posts there, so we'll just take the iron, heat it up a little, and then just make sure we got a solid connection on that post. That should be perfect. Let's give it a quick test to get our lengths right. So there's the one end, and there's the other end. Perfect. What do you say we get this thing back together, see how it looks, and give it a power test? That's what I'm going to do next. It's not really that big of a deal when you break these because all you really need to do is super glue it back together. It's just important to note that the point faces you, like this angle, the pointed edge is out toward you. All right, that should be good. All right, I want to see this thing light up. Wow. What a transformation. That is incredible. That is not dim anymore, tell you what. Pretty unbelievable, folks. I cannot believe I am looking at the same receiver I opened up a few weeks ago. The last question I have here is, despite everything this thing has been through, does it still make its advertised 35 watts per channel? Let's hook up the scope and find out. All right, we've got this thing sending its signal to 8 ohm load resistors. We've got 1000 hertz going through. And what we're looking for is clipping on the oscilloscope. And we want to know what voltage that clipping is happening at. So I'm going to look at the left channel first. And the left channel, see there's the clipping when we get those flat lines there. Let's dial that back until we don't see that anymore. And that happens around 18 volts AC. 18 volts into 8 ohms comes out to 40.5 watts per channel, which is 5 watts above this thing's advertised 35 watts per channel. Let's switch over to the right channel. I'll have to move my probe back here to make that happen. So let's check the voltage and clipping on that one. There's the clipping. Dial it back. Yeah, very similar situation. Now what I want to do is I want to put the channels over top of one another. So we got each channel here. I can, bring them both up. I want to check and see how well they track together to see general health of, 1, the volume potentiometer, and 2, maybe the amplifiers are working a little bit differently between the channels. But right there, you see a little bit of separation right up top there, but you're probably not going to be able to hear that too well. So to my surprise, after everything we've seen, this thing is still pumping out over 35 watts per channel, 50 years later. So there's quite a bit to talk about here. What happened to this thing? Like I said, I saw this on eBay, and I put in my max bid 5 seconds before the end of the auction, and I guess now is the time where I will tell you, I paid $285 for this receiver. And I'm not really sure how to feel about that. I've been peeved at how expensive parts units or broken units have become on eBay, because for somebody like me, before the YouTube channel, I would want to buy one of these and then fix it myself and then be able to enjoy it for a big discount. But with the way prices are now, by the time you get parts or you find all these knobs and stuff, which, by the way, I actually had some of these left over from a unit I parted out years ago, you basically spend about what you would if you just bought a nice one. And where's the fun in that if you like to fix things? I'm not happy that I just contributed personally to those insane prices, in my opinion, but that's just kind of the way it is right now with these things. These things are popular. People love these things and people want them. After the auction, I reached out to the seller and I asked the seller, do you have any idea at all how this thing got to be how it is? What happened here? And I got no reply. So we're left with speculating. And my best speculation is I think this was in a house fire. It's not clear to me whether this was being regularly used or not. I would almost bet on it not being terribly regularly used because all of these lamps are working and I see no evidence of anybody ever being inside of here. Normally there's at least one fuse lamp burnt out, but to have only the tuner pointer lamp burnt out, that's interesting to me. Outside of the abundance of thick soot being my main reason I think this was in a house fire, because, who wants to be in an environment where that's in the air? You probably wouldn't be able to breathe too well. It was actually extremely, extremely difficult to get some of these knobs off. Oh, man. And when I finally got them off with channel locks, pulling as hard as I could, I saw a bunch of plastic left over on the knurled shafts here. So to me, that would be an indicator that the plastic got hot. And maybe it started melting a little bit. But I'm not sure how I feel about that theory because no other plastic on this seems to be melted. And then my last speculation is the bottom cover on this thing was corroded. It had a bunch of spots of corrosion starting. And that is something that might happen after a fire extinguisher or flame retardant was sprayed in a room or something. So this obviously has had some time to sit since the incident, if you will. That's basically my best guess. So if you have a better guess than mine, I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Obviously, this thing is not done. In fact, when I have a speaker connected, I can hear a little bit of static coming out of the right channel, no matter what volume this thing is turned on to. So that to me indicates some kind of problem in the power amplifier potentially. And as longtime viewers of my videos know, I've made a number of videos on this specific model actually, outlining a number of the risks or bad components that can be inside of one of these. You know, protection circuits go bad, the transistors in the amplifiers go bad, the caps go bad. These can be very problematic if left alone, you know, 50 years later from the manufacture date. A lot of that stuff is a little bit outside of the scope of this video, but if seeing a full electric restoration of this thing is something you would be interested in, let me know in the comments. That's basically what I plan to do next, but until then, I'm just enjoying looking at the dang thing. It just looks so nice. I'm having a hard time. I don't even recognize it. No one recognizes it. It never looked like this until, you know, a few days ago. And the last thing I want to close with is the power washing vinegar baking soda bath portion of this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I'm not recommending you do that ever. However, it did work better after I did all that stuff. But, you know, I think it goes without saying. It's very high risk to do what I did. It's very high risk to put electronics in your oven. You know, just, I'm not recommending that. But I know how much you all love watching it and I love doing it, so that's why this video is here. And I think with that, that's a video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my subscribers and thank you to my members who get early access to brand new videos before they're released to everybody, like this one. Okay, I will see you in the next one.